Everyone needs to learn After Effects by making a ball move around. It's tradition. So double-click on the Comp 02 bouncing ball to open it. Take a moment to notice the information in the project window. This comp is 1920 by 1080 pixels, 10 seconds duration, and 29.97 frames per second, or FPS. This is the standard size for HDTV, and it's always good to double-check your composition settings to prevent issues from popping up. So the Comp 02 bouncing ball is empty. Nothing is in the timeline. So let me find the discoball.ai file and drag it into the timeline. It should be in the Tutorial Assets folder in the project window. I've briefly mentioned the transform properties in previous videos, so let's dive deeper into transform or strap now. If I twirl down the triangle next to the layer name, I'll see the word transform. There it is. If I twirl down the triangle next to the word transform, I'll get to see all of the transform properties. These properties are most commonly referred to as strap, S-T-R-A-P. These letters are the hotkeys for each property. S for scale, T for opacity. Sometimes you'll hear me call it topacity, since it starts with T in the acronym. R for rotation, A for anchor point, and P for position. I think most of these are self-explanatory except for anchor point. The anchor point is the point where the transformation occurs. You can see in the comp window, if I rotate the layer, see how it's rotating around that point? If I were to move the anchor point, it would change the point of rotation or the point of transformation. Now, if I hit the hotkey for strap, it will reveal just that property. This saves a lot of time twirling down and trying to find that specific property all the time. If you want to show more than one property, hold down Shift and press the hotkey. See? S for scale, then Shift R to add rotation. If I press P, it switches to just position. So learning these strap hotkeys and the strap properties right now will make learning the rest of After Effects much, much easier. Take a moment. Pause the video and practice bringing up the strap properties, using the triangle as well as the hotkeys. Welcome back. Let's create some keyframes. I'm going to hit the P on the keyboard to show just the position property. I can either click and drag on the numbers next to position to change the position, or to make it a little easier, I can use the selection tool from the toolbar and just move the ball around in the comp window. By the way, the hotkey for the selection tools is the same as Photoshop or Illustrator. Press the letter V to choose the selection tool. Now, when I move the ball in the comp window, see how the value also changes in the timeline. You can change the position either way. However, if you notice, when I press play, nothing moves. That is because I haven't made any keyframes yet. Creating the first keyframe is always the same way. Click the stopwatch next to the property. In this case, it's position. When I click the stopwatch, it will make a keyframe at whatever point my time indicator is at. Then, all I have to do is move my timeline and change the position, either using the timeline or your selection tool in the comp window. When I hit the spacebar to preview now, voila, we have animation. It's as simple as that. It takes some practice to get fast at this, but with just a little practice, you can be a strap keyframe master. Let's animate scale. Either use the hotkey, Shift S to show both scale and property, or twirl down your triangle. Hit the stopwatch next to scale, move the timeline, and then change the scale amount. If you want it to move faster, click and drag on the keyframes to move them closer together. The closer the keyframes, the faster it will be. It's as simple as that. Create keyframes, move the timeline around, change the value, rinse and repeat. These keyframes are easy to deal with. You can move them around. You can group select by clicking and dragging to grab a bunch of them. You can select a keyframe and press delete on the keyboard to delete a keyframe. And you can copy and paste keyframes to repeat animations that you set up earlier in the timeline. Take 5 minutes or more and make a bunch of keyframes. I've created a completed example in the completed examples folder to give you some ideas. It doesn't have to be cool. Just create a bunch of keyframes on each property, get goofy with it. In the next video, we'll put it together with a design.